Hello, I'm Clifford Dailing, a rural letter carrier from Centralia, Missouri, and the Secretary-Treasurer of the National Rural Letter Carriers Association. 12 years ago, our nation was rocked with a great tragedy as thousands of innocent citizens lost their lives in New York City, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. That day represented a shift in the American psyche as the front lines of a terrible war crossed oceans to reach our own shores. But the American spirit continued to thrive and prosper as we stood together to face the challenges of a new era in American life. There is no better example of this courage than in the work of the American letter carrier. In the face of anthrax, ricin, and other threats, mail service continued unabated. This everyday occurrence provided a bit of security to Americans across the country as they opened their mailboxes to see messages from friends and family had been delivered safely. This ideal has inspired my own work on a program called the National Postal Model, in which letter carriers would deliver critical antibiotics in the event of a bioterrorism attack. I had the opportunity to help develop this program, which served as the perfect opportunity for letter carriers to protect their communities in the event of an emergency. This took advantage of both their knowledge of their communities, developed through years of mail delivery, as well as Postal Service one-of-a-kind delivery infrastructure. When word came down about this opportunity to protect their communities, to protect the lives of their friends and neighbors through the distribution of life-saving drugs, rural letter carriers signed up in droves. There was no doubt in their minds that this was a critical program for them to take part in, and they did not once question the decision to potentially put themselves in harm's way. Rural letter carriers have a long history of serving their communities. In a national food drive conducted every year, they collect millions of non-perishable food items for area food banks and pantries. They are active in their local churches and their communities. And each year, the NRLCA honors rural letter carriers who have gone above and beyond their duty to protect their customers, such as Todd Waddle of Lee's Summit, Missouri, who saved the life of a customer when he pulled him from a devastating house fire. Many cities, unfortunately, expressed reluctance to embrace the National Postal Model due to funding concerns. While scores of letter carriers stood up for their opportunity to protect and serve their communities, the program is now at risk of losing its funding due to congressional budget politics. For far too long, Congress has ignored its duties in passing a regular budget for the federal government. The country has teetered on the edge of shutdown and default, while both parties have failed to properly address the situation. The National Postal Model may be one of the many casualties of these budget fights. The NRLCA urges Congress to protect funding to this critical program. The United States should be smart in using its resources to protect its citizens. That includes using the knowledge and expertise of volunteer letter carriers to combat potential bioterrorism. To allow this opportunity to pass us by is simply unacceptable, and the National Postal Model can be easily secured through congressional budget action. We're calling on Congress to make the right choice in protecting this country and its citizens. Thank you, and God bless.